Whew. What's going on, everybody? Today was a rough day. Um, Felt like the medicine wasn't even working today. No matter. Oh man. So when I have days like that, I really. Hey Nika, how you doing, my love? How your son with his handsome self? I really try my best when I have days where I'm just like in a lot of pain or the pain is consistent. I try not to wallow in it. Like I try to come sit outside and really do my best to not let it get the best of me, you know. But I since I have so much time, I'm reflecting on my life and a lot of things that I went through because I really try to think about ways that I can grow all the time. Sometimes I wish I could turn my brain off. But I want to share something with y'all. And I hear so many women say, throughout your life as a woman, you have to have expectations. Hey, Cootie, you have to have expectations. Wendy, I seen a couple people on here. Miss Tammy, I think, spoke to me too. Hey, Tammy. Have standards. But let me tell you something that I had to learn. It makes no sense to have standards if you're not going to have expectations or consequences. Listen to what I mean. There are things in your life that should be standards, and there are things in your life that should be compromises. Those are when you're stepping into any type of relationship, whether it's a courting, dating, aspirating relationship, or if it's just friendships, whether you and another chick become friends or whatever, or even if you grow a bond with your cousins or anything, you have to have negotiables and you have to have standards. And with negotiables, compromises is what I would call them, are things that you may not care for but you could deal with, or you are willing to understand and try to deal with for the sake of the relationship. But there are things that are called standards, and what standards are your non-negotiables. Those are things that you have set out to say, I will absolutely not deal with. I will absolutely not put up with. And standards are not just for you towards that person. You have to also set standards for yourself. Hey, Tanisha, thank you so much for calling me this morning. You also have to have standards for yourself. As a woman, I have standards on the way I'm going to carry myself. There are standards on the way I'm going to conduct myself. There are standards on the type of friend I'm going to be. There are standards on the type of woman, or wife, or girlfriend I'm going to be. The type of daughter I'm going to be. Those are standards in which I have for me. So the standards aren't just about what you receive from people. You got to also have standards on how you treat people. And my standards on how I treat people has nothing to do with the individual. That's me as a person. So if I'm a good friend, it's not so much because of you, but it's already because of my characteristic and the standard that I set in myself on the type of woman and friend I'm going to be in life. That's not dictated by you. That's dictated by the standards that I set within myself. And so since I have standards within myself, and I also have standards in which I set, now I have expectations that come with those standards. You can't set standards for yourself as a woman and don't expect the treatment. Because I have a standard of being a good friend, I have an expectation to receive good friendship. That's an expectation. And what end up happening in life, and I've done this a lot with friends as well as relationships, is I let my standards become negotiables to keep that person around. So I would say this is a standard, but I would now let that become something I compromised on to keep a friendship or to keep a romantic relationship. So that means I had no expectations or no consequences. So everything in my life honestly was a negotiable. So I would say, hey, I have a standard that you can't cheat on me. But I got cheated on, and there was no expectations or consequences behind it. So what was the point of even calling it a standard? If I was just going to let it be bent and broken at anybody's leisure. Think about what I'm saying. I have a standard to be there for my friends. So now I have an expectation for my friends to be there for me. So if my friends aren't there for me, and especially when I need them, and I have no expectation on them ever being there, and there's no consequence on them not being there for me, then what was the point of having a standard? What was even the point of setting it if I was just going to let somebody come trample on my standards like it never mattered? Every man that I've dated before this recent one, within the last 2 to 3 years, honestly, nobody respected my standards because I let my standards be negotiated. I wanted to keep that person around so much. I wanted to be with that person so much that every standard that I claim I had came with absolutely no consequence and absolutely no expectation. If I come with standards, I expect those standards. Because if I wasn't going to have a consequence behind my standards, then there was no point of having them. Listen to me. If you say within yourself that you cannot deal with a man cheating on you, and that is a standard, you better have some consequences behind that standard. You better have some. Because if not, that's not a standard. And truth of the matter is, the reason we don't know, we don't set standards or stand with standards is because we don't know how to stand on them. We don't know what we can deal with or can't deal with. We out here trading softly or rocking a boat trying to figure it out and trying to keep people around at the cost of our feelings, at the cost of our broken heart, at the cost of our time, at the cost of our patience. We don't know who we are. We are learning who we are and what we can deal with through trial and error and letting somebody take us for along the ride. So I claim that I can't deal with somebody cheating on me, but the minute I get cheated on, I deal with it. So do I even know myself? I claim that I can't take somebody lying to me, but the minute a man lied to me, I didn't leave. So how can I claim something and not stand on it unless I didn't know myself? I didn't know me. I didn't know what a standard even was. And then when I did begin to know what a standard was, I began to prove the standard to other people instead of setting the standard for myself. Listen to what I'm saying. Most women know their worth. We say that so much. Women know your worth. Women know their worth. We are too busy trying to prove our worth to other people. It ain't that we don't know. You know you a good woman. You know you ride or die. You know you there for everybody. You know you'll come running. You know you stuck by that man's side through thick and thin. So why are you taking his crap? You're not taking his crap because you don't know your worth. You're taking his crap because you trying to make him see what you're worth. You hoping that one day he wake up and see she was the woman that was there for me. She was the woman that stuck by my side. She was the woman that took all my crap. She was the woman that was there when nobody else was there. And so now maybe he will wake up and see what I'm worth. That's what you want because you already know your worth. You've been through enough to know it. You're trying to prove it. That's why most times we have conversations. Listen to me and listen to me good. Why, if somebody do you something, like say for instance you catch your man cheating, right? If you catch your man cheating, you go in his phone and you catch him cheating. Why do you go to him to talk to him about what you saw? Because truth is, you want an explanation to the truth that you already know. If it was a goal in the sand and you know what you saw, you didn't even have to explain nothing. Once you seen it, you could have packed your bags, left, and you ain't owe nobody an explanation. You wanted the explanation because truth of the matter is you want him to wake up and see what he's about to lose. You're trying to prove a point. If the roles were reversed, Trey, it's the same thing. Just put man where I'm saying woman. But it's no different. I'm just speaking on the woman's point of view because I'm a woman. But what I'm saying is, I had to wake up and know what I could tolerate and what I couldn't tolerate and mean that. See, we let us missing toxic people make us reconnect with toxic people. I can miss you, but I gotta keep on missing you. I remember when I was talking to my cousin, and I knew my ex-husband was cheating. I knew he was cheating, and he would be talking about he had school and this and that. And my cousin was like, "You want to go ride to the school?" She said, "You want to go ride to the school?" And you know what I told her? No. Because I didn't want to see what I already knew, and I didn't want to have to do something about what I found out because I didn't know how. I had set a standard that I knew he was already crossing and did not have the courage and strength to do nothing about it. So I didn't want to take myself and make myself face something I knew was already going on because I knew I was not having consequences for the actions I was about to see. So that means I had no standards. I had no boundaries. I had none. But this is the thing, Q. Nothing's wrong with going off on potential. The problem is we stay with potential because we are trying to prove something. Once again, everybody is dealing with somebody with potential. Whether it's you, your friends, or anybody else. Everybody has potential within them. We stick out for the potential overriding what we actually know. You get what I'm trying to say? Let me see if I can explain it. Women, whether we want to believe it or not, have been groomed and shaped to be fixer-uppers, to be there, and we want to reap the benefits of being there. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, if you take something off of your man, say for instance, listen to what I'm trying to say. If you and your man been together for 5 years, you trying to spend your life with this man. You trying to spend a lifetime with this man. So most people stick in there for the trouble of the 2, 3, 4 years because the 2, 3, 4 years you don't want it to define the lifetime. Do you know people who are married for 60, 70 years? If they tell you what they went through on their first 2, 3, 4 years, you would be like, why y'all still together? But they fought for a lifetime. So they felt like they needed to take that trouble, take that storm for a lifetime. See, we have conditioned ourselves to believe that we got to build happiness off of trouble. Most happiness is built off of heartbreak because we are taught and coached that. So that's why we stay. Because the minute he wake up and realize you a good woman, you want to reap the benefits of when he wake up. You want to reap the benefits. When he start making that money, when he start settling down, when he start getting that job, when he start becoming the man he need to be, you want to be the woman that reaps that because you going to feel like you deserve that because you was there when he had nothing, right? You were there when the chips were down. But listen to me. And as unfair as it may sound, leaving him may be the only way he wakes up. See, he may never be what he's supposed to become because you're there stopping him from hitting the ground. You're stopping him from hitting rock bottom. So he will never pick himself up and be the man he needs to be because he don't have to. I remember telling this to my son's daddy when we finally broke up. My son daddy cheated and I took him back. Lied, took him back, hurt me, took him back, over and over and over and over. Right? And the very last time, every time he would come back, he'll be like, I swear, Bridget, I changed. I swear, Bridget, I changed. I swear, Bridget, I changed. Right? So the last time I was done. I was like, I'm done with you. I'm sick of this. Look what he said. Bridget, I promised I'd change. And you know what I had to tell him? If you did change, that means you're going to be a hell of a man for the next woman. That hurt like crap to say that. But I had to accept that if he did change, he is about to be a good man for somebody else. Because he will never have to change completely because he has built a rapport with me. So I had to accept, hey, if he do become a great man, if he do get married, guess what? He's about to be a good man to somebody else at the cost of my broken heart. And that's something we don't want to accept, but that's reality. That's why a lot of you who have y'all baby daddies don't like the new girlfriend, because he seems to be treating her the way he should have treated you after all you took off of him. But he wouldn't be treating her the way he's treating her had you stayed. See, your leaving was the wake-up call. Your breaking the cycle was the wake-up call. You putting your foot down was him realizing that he just lost something great. Let me tell you something. A lot of men may not say it, but a lot of them are sick because they lost some good women. And it hurt like hell. I know it hurt like hell to feel like you were the cause of somebody else's happiness. Your heartbreak was the cost of somebody else's happiness. But truth of the matter is, that's all we are in life anyway. Everything that I've been through, every piece of pain that I have been through in my life is for the betterment of somebody else. That's what God uses to lift us up. He gonna use your abortion. He gonna use your rape. He gonna use your tears. He gonna use you losing your home. He gonna lose you stumbling and falling. So somebody else don't ever have to go through that. So somebody else could say, if she made it, I made it. So somebody else could say, I can do better because of Mika, because of Shirley, because of Tammy, because of Dana. Your disappointments, your hurt, your pain is a weapon to defeat other people from being broken. It may seem unfair, but that's reality. That's true, unadulterated reality. I know that I am not where I am for nothing. I watch the man, the father that my ex is my son daddy. The type of man he is now, he's married. I get along with his wife. He always has his kids. That ain't the man that I dated. That ain't the man I dated. The man I dated, you couldn't find him to get his children. But the man he is now, and I don't know if he's perfect. He's somebody else's headed, because everybody got their stuff. But he married that young lady. He settled down with that young lady. On the weekends, he get his kids. If I call him about his son, he come get his son. Sometimes walking away was the best thing you could have done, no matter how unfair it seems. Because you have no idea the monster you create by staying. You know a lot of men would have way more respect for us if we would have left instead of forgiving them? That sounds crazy. They beg for your forgiveness, but a lot of times they lose respect for you when you give it to them. Because they now sometimes see you as weak, or has now built in their mind that you can't lose them. You can't live without them. Sometimes leaving them is why the reason they want you back so bad. You think you gonna get a reaction out of him sometimes by cutting up his clothes and not wrecking his windows? Not answer your phone. Disappear. Don't entertain him. When he texts you, you don't text him back. Let me tell you something I had to do. I was in love with my son daddy so much. He was my first time I was in love, first man I lived with and all this here. And he kept cheating, kept lying, kept doing this. So when I moved back home with my mom after breaking up with him, he knew what to say to get me back. He knew me that well. He knew me. I'm talking about knew me. Knew what to say, how to say it. Knew where to touch me, where to kiss me. He knew me. I had trained him how to treat me. Right? So now I had to untrain him how to treat me. So I moved back home with my parents. But I have a son for him. So I can't keep him from his son. So of course now, since I'm trying to ignore him and get away from him, he's going to use the son to try to get to me. So he's calling, I want my son. But every time he try to come get his son, man, come talk to me. Come, let's go out to eat as a family. Whatever he had to say. And I was so in love with him that I would fall for it. But I knew that I didn't trust him anymore. So I had to have a sit down with my mama. And I said, Mama, I don't want this man no more. I need your help. This man, what I'm going to do, I'm going to need your help. And what I did, y'all, is I checked into Love Rehab. Love is just like drugs. You can be addicted to it. You can be addicted to the thought of love. You can be addicted to the picture of love, where it looks like you're happy. So many people know they're not happy. They know their man cheating. They know their man not right. But the house they already acquired, the cars, they've been there too many years. They got kids invested. So they are in love with the picture, even though that's not the reality. So they stay for every reason except the real reason they should be there in the first place. That's why it's dangerous to build a relationship on anything but true, solid love. Because there's going to be a point in a relationship where the foundation of love is all you got. And if you don't have a foundation of love, that house y'all got together, that car, that money, them kids ain't going to be enough. So I had to check into Love Rehab. And what Love Rehab is, it's just like drug rehab. I can't be around it, because I haven't built a resistance to it. So I can't be around this man. I can't talk to this man. I can't see this man, because he is my cocaine. And if I don't get from around him, I'm going to sniff this line every time I see him. And that's what I did. Every time I seen him, I was right back in the bed with him, right back in his face, right back letting him play on me. So I said, Mama, I don't want this. So I said, this is what I'm going to do. When he want to see his son, he got to call you. He can't call me. I changed my cell phone number. I sent him a text message and said, this is the number you call when you want to see your son. I changed my number. He called my mama for our son. My mama will come in the room and say, Bridget, such and such want his baby. I said, all right. I will pack my son bag, leave my son. What time he coming? Oh, he gonna be there for 4? By no later than 2:30. My son bag was packed, his clothes was packed, his bottles was packed, and I left. And my baby was there with my mama, and he had to pick my baby up from by my mama and call my mama when he was ready to bring my baby home. I couldn't be there when he came. And he would come and be like, well, what, Miss Kendra, where Bridget at? Oh, what you need? Oh, I wanted to talk to her. About what? Oh, what is about the baby? Oh, you could tell me and I'll tell her. Every bit of communication had to go through my mama because I couldn't see him because I was addicted to him. And that went on for months. And he hated it. But if you just want your son, why you need to contact me? You can have your son anytime you want. But you trying to get me. You know you got your son. And you know you had me like that. So I had to do something to free myself. The freedom wasn't about him. Because he was already getting his way. I was in bondage. I was in bondage. I was tied up to something that I was addicted to that was not good for me. And when I built a resistance up, I began to learn what I couldn't put up with. So I began to kick the habit, as drug users would say. You got to kick the habit. But you cannot be so deeply in love with no consequences. You cannot be so addicted to loving somebody that they can do you anything. Let me tell you something. People say that women, hear me good. Men do what women allow them. When people not paying attention, that if a man can do it, that says a lot about his manhood. Just because you can take candy from a baby don't mean you should. If I can look at somebody and know I can walk over them and choose to walk over them, that says a lot about my character as a human. I don't want a man I could talk to any kind of way. I don't want a man I could treat any kind of way. I don't want a man I could push around. I don't want that kind of man. I don't want to think I could do that. I want to look at him and he know he got my respect. I treat him the way I treat him because of who I am, not because of what he allows. I am a woman that believes in honoring a good man. I am a woman that believes in a man should have a hot meal. I am a woman that believes that a man should be honored and his masculinity shouldn't be challenged. That's the type of woman I am. So his treatment is not because he let me or not let me. It's in me. It's in me. So if you could cheat on a woman and beat on a woman and lie to a woman, it ain't because she let you. It's because it's in you. That's who you are. And no woman shouldn't have to force you to be otherwise. That should be something in you to want to do. You shouldn't want to beat on a woman. You shouldn't want to cheat on a woman. That's in you. Everything that I offer in friendships and in relationships is who I am, not who they accept me to be. You can only fix you. And so we go around and we try to change who we are to fit that person, to make them be something that they're not. So I got to change who I am to make you stop cheating on me? The hell with that. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to change who I'm giving me to. So since I can't freely love you, I got to act crazy for you to treat me right, then I can't be with you. I want a man that I ain't got to check his phone. That's the kind of man I want. I don't want a man that I got to go through this with. If that's what I got to do, that means I'm no longer being Bridget. Bridget is a lover. Bridget is an honorer. Bridget is a caterer to her man. Bridget is there for her friends. She'll give her last to her friends. And if I can't be that, then I can't be with you. Don't change who you are. Change who you give you to. That's what you got to do. Because if you don't, that means you have no consequences for the person that you are. And you will always get challenged because people going to always see you as an open door to mess over because there is no consequences. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I learned to walk away from toxic people because I know my standards are worth the expectations I look for. Something to think about. B speaks. Peace.